And like I said, if this does not get handled properly within this court, I can absolutely take it to the Supreme Court just because Governor Abbott is involved. I don't think he wants it to go there. That's why he tried to give me the third appeal. I just want to be compensated for losing my house, all my possessions, and the transition of displacement all this time, pain and suffering for no reason at all.
All right, I see we have Miss Lee here. I'm going to go ahead and recall Lee versus Texas Workforce, Ms. Boss. And I don't hope we need a record.
Judge, I want a record.
Okay, let me get our court report. See if she's still here. Miss Simon, are you on? Oh, there you are. All right, let me go ahead and call cause number GN 24009532, Lee versus Texas Workforce Commission. Just make your introduction.
Dina Bost with the Attorney General's Office on behalf of the Texas Workforce Commission.
All right. And Ms. Lee, are you representing yourself this morning?
Yes, I'm going pro se.
Okay. All right. And it is the state's motion. So Ms. Boss will go first.
Thank you, Judge. Okay. And I'll keep to my time. And throughout the hearing, I'll say TWC for Texas Workforce. But the underlying issue today stems from plaintiff's unemployment benefits. She was employed by Goodwill Industries from November 2020 until November 2021, at which time she was terminated. Administrative hearings were held, and ultimately TWC found in favor of Ms. Lee and awarded her benefits. And payment of those benefits can be found in Exhibit A, and that's pages 13 through 18. It shows the payments and the dates. But in the time since then, Ms. Lee filed a petition alleging a slew of intentional torts against the TWC. In December of 2024, TWC filed an answer along with a PTJ, a plea to the jurisdiction. And our three main points for why her lawsuit should be dismissed are sovereign immunity of TWC, mootness of the underlying unemployment claim, and also statutory defect of her original petition. And I'll take each of those in turn. So sovereign immunity, it prevents people of the public from being able to sue a governmental entity for intentional torts. And that's laid out in the Texas Tort Claims Act. She's alleged such intentional torts as defamation of character, criminal fraud, and TWC has never waived sovereign immunity for these types of allegations. And not only that, they're unactionable, but they're just baseless. They're not, there's no evidence behind them. And the second point is mootness of her underlying unemployment claim. As I stated, she's already been paid her benefits. She was awarded, TWC found in her favor, listened to both sides, listened to the employer's side, to her side, and found in her favor. So there's no judicial review for you to even consider, Judge, because there's no decision in opposition to Ms. Lee. So, I mean, it's just moot at this point. And the third and final reason to dismiss her claim is statutory defect of her original petition. She did not name a required defendant, that being her employer. The Texas Labor Code lays this out. Any party who would have a legal or financial claim or could be potentially harmed, if they were involved at the administrative level, they need to be involved at this level too. So her failure to name them is a statutory defect. And Exhibit C is the Texas Labor Code, and Exhibit B is the Texas Tort Claims Act, which show what I've already referenced. So for these reasons, Judge, for these three foregoing reasons, we ask that her claim be dismissed, her lawsuit be dismissed in its entirety, sovereign immunity being really the big one, and also mootness of her underlying unemployment claim, and statutory defect of her original petition, failing to name a required defendant. Thank you, Judge.
Right, thank you. All right, Ms. Lee. You can unmute yourself and let me know your response to the motion or to the plea.
Okay. Well, my motion, that is that it was absolute, what she said. We absolutely did come to an conclusion, on that, and the whole entire incident was reversed in my favor. But what I am having an issue with was the whole entire time that I was going through the appeal process, I was being, sabotaged. We went through 3 separate appeals. It got to the point where we had to go through 3 separate. The first one I missed because I was not notified. I had received an email. I don't know if you can see this because I want to submit evidence as well. But there was an email sent from executive staff saying that they had to escalate the situation. At the time, I sent my appeal in December 15th, 2021. As you can see, December 22nd, if I can put it up there, where's the camera? 2022, December 12th, 2022, I received this email saying that it was going to be escalated, which is 3 days shy of a year from when I first originally put it in. At that time, it's just escalated. So she was basically letting me know no one has touched it. Okay, right after that incident occurred, on the 19th following, right after, they had the appeals. I was never notified about it. On the 12th, it stated in there that she was escalating it. This is the, if I can get it over there. You see that date? The 19th, they had it. Okay, on the 12th, she was telling me it escalated. I was told that I was mailed out a packet on the 6th. And I'm not understanding that if I was mailed out a packet on the 6th, why was it not in the system on the 12th? As you see, this email was from executive staff. So how was it that on the 12th that she didn't see anything saying that anything was mailed out to me on the 6th? She didn't say anything in there about a predated time of the 19th. So they just basically had the appeal on the 19th just to clear it out of their system because it's been sitting idle for a year. So there was just their way of doing it without notifying me, because as you can see on here, neither one of us was notified. I don't know if you can see that. We're neither one up here, neither me or the employer. We were never notified. They basically just botched an appeal and just put it together. As a matter of fact, this is the mailing list showing that there are no addresses on here listed to even be mailed out to. So we were never notified. We went through the second appeal. The second appeal was basically sabotage as well. I was emailing the only person that I had for correspondence up until the 26th. They had the actual appeal on the 27th. On the 26th, before the 27th, I sent him and I told him that these are emails that I keep getting. If I can get that in front of there. These are emails that I keep getting, but I'm not getting the information that I'm supposed to be receiving. So basically, here it is, the 26th, and I'm basically emailing him, asking him again for information. I also called him again on the phone on the 26th, called him at 11 o'clock. I told him that I was going to call him. As a matter of fact, I have that paperwork, that email showing that I told him I was going to call him on the 26th. I had it set up to call him on the 26th. He did not answer the phone. He did not return my phone call. So when the 27th came, he gives me an email telling me that I'm going to be listed as a no call, no show. And I was like basically I was not there. So a non-appearance. So here it is. The actual appeal happened at 7:30 that morning. Here I am emailing him.
Ms. Lee, are you still there?
Okay. Yes, I'm still there. I'm sorry. It's just the phone rang. I'm sorry. I should turn off my ringer. But as you can see on here, on the 27th at 3:02, I sent him an email saying I haven't received anything. Okay? I don't know if you're seeing that I haven't received anything. Okay. So then he responds back to me at 3:33, which the appeal happened at 7:30 that morning. He responds back to me at 3:33 telling me that he's going to give me a non-appearance and that I was going to get that day. Well, for one, I've been emailing him ever since the 23rd, asking him for the information for that appeal. And he never ever sent me the information. He could have literally given me the time and the date, which is what I was asking for. So from the 23rd all the way up to the 26th, I'm contacting him. I'm calling him. I'm letting him know that I'm calling him. As a matter of fact, let me find the one that basically says, I'm calling you on the 26th. Okay, here it is.
Ms. Lee, I need to understand, what is your response to
I'm calling him on the 26th and he never
I
responded.
need to understand what your response is to the plea to the jurisdiction. You haven't told me anything about that.
Okay, the plea to the jurisdiction, if from my understanding, what a jurisdiction is that you're trying to not have it in a court because you're out of state. That's my understanding of a jurisdiction. But either way, if you are out of state or whatever the case may be, there are grounds for reasons for having this court case. I was clearly sabotaged. And I do want that addressed. This was going through a hearing process that was supposed to establish whether or not I was supposed to receive my benefits. It was sabotaged. It lasted over a period of 2 years, which is entirely too long. That is a way over the allotted amount of time. It was very lengthy. What I was told, that it only takes 6 weeks in order to get something like that done. So it stretched out over a period of 2.5 years, ma'am. Sabotage after sabotage. After the first appeal on the 19th, even though they had my email to contact me on the 12th, I was never notified about the 19th. I was told in that email to wait until Friday. They will contact me. If they contacted me, then that will be okay. If not, I guess it's fair game up to me to call. I called and called constantly, gave emails constantly. No one returns anything to me. It got to the point where 6 months later, I physically had to walk into the building myself to get the information. And when I walked into the building, they couldn't even give me any information. So basically, after all that time that it sat idle for that whole year, somehow it got lost. So I was asking them, when it got lost, how is it that you all had the appeal if it was lost? So here it is, the 24th of May, 6 months later. I'm going in personally to get this information, request information about it. They did not give me information about it. We went through another runaround. So I had to end up getting in contact with Gregg Abbott, the governor. He basically got in contact with TWC for the 6 months that I was being avoided. No one called me back. No one wanted to call me back. They basically just ignored me. 3 days after I received the email, I sent the email to Gregg Abbott. I got an email response from the head commissioner, Ed Cerna, and he gave me his cell phone number. So this is a person who was avoiding my emails for a whole 6 months and didn't want to talk to me at all. But as soon as I got in contact with Gregg Abbott, he decided to return my call. So they're playing these little cat and mouse games, blowing me off, basically. Like I said, my information got removed some kind of way. It came up misplaced. I had to resubmit it, and then we had to go through it again. Now, the third appeal was only given to me because I spoke to Governor Abbott. I have that picture in my phone. I honestly want to have that sent to you. That's why I wanted to do it in court. But I'm actually outside the court doors right now as we speak. But They basically just kept prolonging it. On the third appeal, they did not contact Goodwill themselves. I had to personally contact Goodwill to make sure that they were appearing on that hearing. They appeared at that hearing, and that's when it got resolved. But the thing is that I have been telling them that they had the wrong information from the beginning, even before I got the denial. I was telling them, you all had the wrong information in there because I was relayed over the phone when I first applied that it was already in the system on some company policy violation that never committed. That was the reason why in the third appeal, the decision was reversed, because Goodwill let them know that there was no company policy violation within their company that they reported. So TWC had the wrong information, which was basically given to them by the management of Goodwill that basically sabotaged me into the wrongful termination. That's the whole reason why I was terminated. And it's a lot going behind that. I have a case on them right now dealing with that. So it's just a lot of things about that happen. They never called the headquarters of Goodwill to get this information to deny me. And the whole entire time when I'm telling them, you never called the headquarters, you called the managers that set me up for sabotage. They, of course, told you the wrong information. You said you did an investigation, but you did not call the head HR, so you did not do an investigation. That's what was stated on the decision, which was the decision was I was denied for company policy violation and misconduct. I don't know if you can see that, but I have all the evidence. I actually have, like, literally, I mean, if you really honestly want to see how much evidence I have, it's literally pathetic. It's
Ma'am,
literally
you're way
pathetic.
over your time. This is a 15-minute hearing, and you've now
I
used
get that.
about
Well,
12 minutes.
you're trying to stop me because you don't want the truth to come out. Your company was sabotaging me. The only reason that I can think of for you all to sabotage me is that you saw African American on my profile. I have never met you. I've never met Robert. I come across Caucasian over the phone. I've been mistaken so many times because I speak proper. So there's no way that he knew that I was Black other than my profile. So other than that, if we never met, what was the reason for animosity to have sabotage being done? What was the point of even holding me off all that time? It took 2 years. Within the 2 years, I have been displaced. I am homeless now. The only reason why I look this way is because I borrowed an outfit from my first lady at my church because she wanted me to appear and have a good appearance. I have been homeless for the past 2 years, sleeping outside on the ground while you all have been playing with me. And I have told you all this from the beginning because I was evicted from my house February 25th, 2022. You all have known this. So instead of handling me diligently, knowing that I was evicted because you all wrongfully denied me, and I've told you this from the beginning, which we had to go through 3 appeals for you all to understand that, and it came back in my favor. You all have been playing with me all this time. I want to be compensated. I've lost my house, my car, all my possessions over your manipulation. And all you had to do was process it. If you would have processed it and did it correctly from the beginning, it would have never been a denial. That's why it got reversed. So I basically went through all of this for nothing. There's no way I'm being in this situation that I'm still in and just eating it. It's not happening. I have a right to be compensated. This was manipulation to the fullest. I wish I could show you all the other information that I have as well. But I do have the emails that I sent to Governor Abbott explaining the whole situation as well. And it's evident. And like I said, if this does not get handled properly within this court, I can absolutely take it to the Supreme Court just because Governor Abbott is involved. I don't think he wants it to go there. That's why he tried to give me the third appeal. I just want to be compensated for losing my house, all my possessions, and the transition of displacement all this time, pain and suffering for no reason at all.
Okay, thank you,
I'm
Ms. Lee.
finished.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Boss, it's your motion. You have the final word.
Judge, I mean, I could reiterate, sovereign immunity, that's, anything she's alleged is unactionable. TWC decisions, yes, they listen to both sides, they look at the evidence, and ultimately they found in her favor. They have to take the time to make a decision that's not arbitrary or capricious, and it was in her favor. So her damages are not in any form the cause of TWC. And that's it, Judge.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a look at the
May-
motion. And
May I address? May I address?
no, you're out of time. This was a total hearing of 15 minutes, and you
I
used 15 minutes.
I understand, ma'am, but this is evidence. This is not allegation. This is evidence. It's not allegation.
Okay.
So
The
I
answer
think
is
it should be
no.
waived. Whatever you
The
think.
hearing is over, ma'am. I'm taking the
Okay.
motion under advisement. You'll be notified of the decision. Thank you.
I appreciate it. 'Cause I need to know. This is just over the top. Thank you.
All right. Y'all are excused. You may have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.